Hi, I'm online wellness coach Akara.enyes, and I want to talk to you today about making our subconscious conscious. Now, most people tend to think of the subconscious and the conscious as two different pots. So, completely separate, one pot, this is the conscious, this is what we see, this is what we know, and the subconscious, this is another pot, this is all unseen. But I think of it more as a gradient, kind of like a line. So all of our feelings and all of our beliefs lie somewhere along this line. And the ones at the front are completely conscious. We understand them completely, we know they're there, absolutely, fully and totally. We understand them, and we understand that there are feelings, there are beliefs, there are judgments, our opinions. Then we have ones right at the back, which we don't know about at all. We haven't recognized that they're there, we don't know what they are, we haven't recognized them in any way, shape or form. But then we also have ones in the middle of that line, where we haven't totally realized it, we haven't totally understood what that belief or that feeling or that judgment is, but we kind of have some idea that there's something sort of like that there in our mind, in ourself. So I'm thinking of it in this line, where it's not two separate pods, everything's along this line, and some things we see very clearly, which means it's completely conscious. Some things we don't see at all, which means it's completely subconscious. And there's things all along this line in the middle too. And all of these things, all of these feelings, all of these beliefs drive us. All of them drive us in our actions, in our emotions, in our reactions. But it's only those we can see that we can consciously change. If we can't see that we have this belief, if we can't recognize, if we don't recognize that we have this belief or this feeling, then there's no way we can change it. How can we change something if we don't even know it's there? The only ones you can change are the ones which you can consciously see and consciously understand. And all of these, whether they're conscious or not, either limit us or they push us forward. They either limit us or they push us forward. They can cause optimism and belief, or they can cause negative thinking, they can cause stress, they can cause anxiety. And that's why we want to change them. We want to keep the ones that make us optimistic, that make us believe, that push us forwards. We don't want to keep the ones that are holding us back. But we can't change them unless we bring them into our conscious view. We can't change them unless we recognize them. And that means making them conscious. Now, I believe the subconscious wants to reveal itself. Your subconscious thoughts, your subconscious feelings and beliefs, they want to reveal themselves to you. And they do. They do in a number of ways. And if we listen to that, if we listen to those signs, then we can start to see the subconscious, we start to make it conscious, and these feelings and beliefs start moving forward within that line, coming more and more and more into view, coming more and more into our consciousness, where we can examine them and where we can change them. But they want to do this. I believe they want to do this. They want to reveal themselves, and they do. And they do in a number of ways. And ones I want to talk to you about today are 3 ways. Praxis, dreams, and unexplained emotions. Now these are 3 different ways that our subconscious shows itself to us. And if we listen to all of these things, then we can start to make those subconscious feelings and thoughts into conscious feelings and thoughts that we can examine and that we can change. So parapraxis, if you've read any Sigmund Freud, you will probably know about these. So a parapraxis is essentially a slip-up. It's when you write the wrong word, you write something that you didn't mean to write, or you say something that you didn't mean to say. Often, it's the opposite of what you want to say. Have you ever had a time like that? Where you went to say something and it ended up coming out something completely different? That's a parapraxis. And what that is it's our subconscious having more energy than our conscious in terms of that subject. And it's our subconscious revealing itself to us, showing us that even though we may have meant to say that, this is what we really think. This is what's actually there in our subconscious, even if we haven't recognized it. So it might be something like, you go to say, I don't mind something, and you end up saying, I don't like this. You meant to say that you didn't mind it. That's what you had in your conscious view. But the slip-up came in because your subconscious was stronger, and your subconscious was saying, actually, I do mind this. I don't like this. So we need to watch out for these moments. And when these moments come up, when these parapraxis come up, we need to have a look into them and have a think about what that really means. And when you look into them like that, you start to understand them, you start to bring them forward in this line, you start to make them conscious, and you can change them, if need be. So number 2, dreams. Dreams are incredible. Dreams are our subconscious taking over completely. Our subconscious is completely running the show in our dreams. So if we can look into that, we can find the meaning there. If we look into that, we can find the meaning there, and we can understand what our subconscious is really saying. And of course, when we understand what our subconscious is saying, we've brought it forward in the line, we've brought it into our consciousness, and we can examine it and change it if we need to, if it's not serving us. So look into your dreams. When you have dreams in the morning, write them down. Write them down and then have a look. Look up the different meanings for the different things you saw. And also use your intuition. Use your feelings. Think about what impressions you got from that dream. How you felt when different things were happening in that dream. That will give you a clue to what your subconscious feelings and motivations really are. You're bringing them forward, you're bringing them into conscious view. Now you can examine them. You can work out whether they're actually serving you or not. And you can change them if they're not serving you. Way number 3, unexplained emotions. So, I'm a stress and anxiety coach, so that's what I'm going to talk about a little bit. That's where this is so helpful. If you have negative emotions that come up and you don't know why you're feeling that way, particularly I think it's very common with anxiety, those feelings come up, you feel this anxiety, but you don't have a clue what's making you feel that way. You don't have a clue what's making you anxious. Now, sometimes this might be energy from other people around you, but a lot of the time, it's going to be a subconscious cause. That feeling, if you don't know why it's there, it's because it's a subconscious belief or subconscious opinion or judgment that has essentially caused the feeling. So when that happens to you, when you have emotions like that come on and you don't know why they're there, you can't explain them, you need to look into that. And if you do, you can learn and you can bring those subconscious impulses forward on that line into your conscious view. So when those feelings come on, think about what happened just before, or what you were thinking about just before. And hopefully, maybe, you'll be able to find something in there that you can think, maybe I have a subconscious aversion to that. Maybe I have a subconscious aversion to that I didn't know I had, that I didn't know about, which is causing me to feel this way. Now, you might not see it immediately. If you do this once, there might be so many things that you absolutely cannot understand or decide, pick out what it was that you had that subconscious aversion to. But over time, if you keep thinking about it in this way, every time that happens to you, you're going to notice a pattern. You're going to notice commonalities between the different scenarios. And those commonalities are the things that you clearly had a subconscious aversion to. And once you've realized that, once you've found those commonalities, you've brought it completely to the front of your consciousness, then you can examine what it really is, why it's there, is it serving you, is it not serving you, and then you can work on changing it if it's not serving you. You can work on changing that belief. And this is how we need to work to bring our subconscious into our conscious, so that we can start understanding our minds, our motivations, and so that we can start making sure that they're aligned with our true self, how we want to be, how we truly want to live, and what we're trying to do. So thank you so much for listening. I spoke a little bit about anxiety here. If you are someone who struggles with stress or anxiety on a regular basis, I have an absolutely fantastic 60-day online stress and anxiety treatment program. I'm going to leave a link down below, and you can go to my website and you can start your free trial of this program completely free right now. It is going to help you so much. I used to have 1,000,001 anxiety issues, and this is exactly how I managed to overcome every one of them. A lot of things didn't work for me. A lot of counselors didn't work for me. A lot of books didn't work for me. But I found something that really did. I eventually coined this the Akara Method, and I'm going to be teaching this to you over a period of 60 days so that you can learn the skill that I now have, so that you can learn the skill of being able to calm any feelings of stress or anxiety that you experience. I cannot wait to see you over there. And again, thank you so much for watching the video. If you found it helpful, please like it, share it, everything, hoopla. It was so great to spend this time with you.